Right, what's up traders? Happy Monday. So let's just wait for you guys to get in the chat. Let's see who is here. And I want to go over my weekly review as usual, right? So just give me a thumbs up in the chat if you guys can all hear me. Traders. Perfect. So I want to come on and as usual speak about my previous week. So last week, May 6th to May 10th. And then we got gonna have Andre from Edgefield come on and answer any questions that you guys do have. Ricky, what's up? Good to have you guys on. De Villiers. So last week, as you can see, this was my week last week. I had 19 total trades. That's not the total amount of trades. Remember that I sometimes do scale in, but 19 total trades and 17 of those, 12 of those winners and 7 of those losers. So let's speak about what I did well last week and what I can improve on, right? So I had a percentage gain of 1.57%. This is, I've got a 200k account linked to this TradeZella. Win rate of 63% with a risk reward ratio of 2.57. So really, really good stats. If you plug that into an equity simulator, those stats will make money long term. So I will give you this equity simulator that you should go have a look at. And what this does is basically a Monte Carlo simulator, and it basically puts in your stats into a equity curve simulator to see if how you're trading is going to make money long term. So let's start with 100,000. 1, 2, 3, and let's put in 60%. What I always try and aim for, and always tell people, I had something that was on Twitter that was quite popular, but at a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio, let's put it over 250 trades. So a trade a day, there's 250 trades in a year, and let's put in 100 different integrations, right? Different simulations. This strategy, risking 1%, will make on average 67%. So this is a profitable system. Now, what always gets me, and I don't understand this, is people online think this is like a very controversial topic, trading for a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio, and it really isn't. So let's bring this up over here where I did mention it today. I tweeted this last night, and it obviously got quite a lot of views, and very, very people think this is controversial, but it's really not. But anyway, 1-to-1 risk reward ratio at 60% win rate is going to make you money. And I encourage you guys to play around with this equity simulators to see if you're going to make money long term. Is the way that you're making money going to make money, way that you're trading going to make money long term, right? So let's speak about this. A 1.57% gain last week, 63% win rate at a 2.57 risk reward ratio. And then I encourage everyone, if you don't do this at the end of each week and end of each day, you shouldn't be trading. This is needed in every single aspect of trading. Trading is a performance activity, just like playing a professional sport is. So me coming from a professional rugby background, I know that we have to go and review and everything like this. Let me know in the chat who here doesn't do how to actually. Let me know. I can get that through too. Just give me a thumbs up in the chat, or say in the chat, and I can get that through. But let's speak about what I did do well this week. So this week was a green week, and I had solid reads in the market. I picked my spots well, and I controlled my C game. I think this was a big aspect for me as well. I really did control my C game, right? So knowing that, and knowing the fact that I am controlling my C game, I know I can actually, perform to the best of my abilities, right? Because as long as we come to this, the only thing that we can control is whether we have our C game in control or not, right? Let's see, I keep freezing. Okay, let's see here. Okay, let me know if you guys can hear me now. I keep freezing. Okay, let me know if you can hear me now. Perfect. Okay, it seems to be coming through all good now, right, guys? Let me know in the chat. Okay, let me know. Okay, cool. Hopefully this comes through all good or better. Okay, cool. Hopefully this comes through better. But okay, 100%, perfect. Okay, cool. So basically, when you come to the desk, the only thing that we can control each and every single day on the desk is our C game performance. So what does that mean, right? What does a C game performance mean? It means that when we are performing at our worst, right? And I spoke about this a lot in my previous streams and everything like that. So in this, I know that I can only control my worst game, right? Knowing that allows me to trade with freedom, more freedom, right? So picking my spots in the market and really just understanding where I need to be in and out and controlling the risk. Because at the end of each day, we can't control whether we make money or lose money, but we can control our downside, right? So that was a really has been my important work on for the last, year, with Tom even. So let's go through some of my trades from this week. So first trade on Tuesday, and this has been a good lesson for me this week. Let's speak about one of my trades here from Tuesday. So this was Euro JPY, and I ended up getting out for a break-even trade on this. But look where I'm buying, right? I should have been buying down at the lows here, right? But I ended up buying up here, and this is something I have spoken about this week as well. Tim Kirk, who is on Twitter, go give him a follow. He actually gave me some great tips this past weekend on essentially buying low and selling high. Sounds corny, but you get the gist of it, right? Buying low. Look where I'm buying. I'm buying at 166.400. I should be buying up here, down here at 166.100. But he's a trader that I really do look up to. So go give him a follow. Here he is, on Twitter. So go give this trader a follow, Tim Kirk, an old guy who's been in the industry for 15 plus years. So go give him a follow. But I think really he gave me some great advice about buying at better prices. Right, and what does he mean by that? Is if you go on my GU trade, I'm trading too much above the daily pivot, and we'll get into that maybe on next week's weekly review. But buying at better prices, buy low, sell high. Obviously, corny but true. I should have been buying more of here as we break the 5-minute 21 EMA lower. So break even trade on EJ on Tuesday, GJ I traded this live on stream on Wednesday. You guys can go rewatch that stream on ASFX TV. So if you want to watch me trade live more often, that is where you can watch me, right? On ASFX TV. You guys can go watch me there, and I will put the link in my bio. It is in my bio on Twitter and that, but go give that a link a watch as well. So that was where I took my trades live. GJ and EJ to the high side. We're trading above the 200 EMA, and we are making higher lows, and I really did like that for continued long. So that was EJ and GJ both live on Wednesday. Thursday, I had a little bit of some scalps on EJ and GJ. Again, I think just buying too high. I should be buying maybe more lower on. I'm buying too high near half day, right? So good lessons this week. So let me actually pull it up on the charts here before we get Andre from Edgeful on. I think a good lesson this week was, not buying at poor spots or selling at poor spots. You want to be in trades at, it looks like my internet is a bit slow, so I do apologize for that. But you want to be picking your spots well in the markets, right? You don't want to be buying too high and then selling too low. Essentially, but using these pivots. So if you go on here on the indicators list, and I always like to give value like this. So if you go hit pivot point standard, right? If you hit this here, pivot point standard, and you go hit that, it will come up with these pivots. I want you to put on the pivot point, the main pivot point as a P, and then R1, R2, S1, S2. Go put those on. But this is a great example today. Look where this was a great buying price on GU. I'm obviously not trading this week. Buying prices here. Right at that daily pivot compared to Friday. Look where I was trying to buy, well above that daily pivot line, right? So the points is you want to be buying at low and selling high. Sounds corny, but you get the gist of that, right? But yeah, perfect. Okay, cool. Let's try and get Andre on from Edgeful. So I think all in all, it was a solid week. If you go over my weekly report card, 1.57% gain with a 63% win rate, risk reward ratio 2.57. So really solid, solid statistics. My big thing was not overcomplicating things, but buying closer to that daily pivot or selling closer to that daily pivot. Right, like I did show you where to get the indicator from, and then putting it over there, right? So at that daily pivot, is where I want to be in. Okay, so a solid week, as you can see. I was focused and locked on my base setups. I cut my losing day on Friday. Good, that was my only losing day of the week. Do not overthink things. Keep my stop losses simple, previous market structure, but also buying at the correct prices or selling at the correct prices, right? You want to be buying or selling charts. So I think I've reiterated that quite nicely. So let's get Andre on. But yeah, I am getting married this coming Saturday, so good to just relax this week and just get some family time in, right? Let's get Andre on from Edgeful. Yo, Andre, can you hear me, bro?
Yes.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all good. I'm all good, brother. Let me. I was just going through my weekly review. So if we pull up my screen here, let's do that. I was just going through my weekly review with the guys, as always, on a Monday. But yeah, guys, this is Andre from Edgeful. So Andre, if you just want to give maybe a brief introduction, then we can just go going. We can chat markets, we can chat Edgeful, and see if the guys have any questions.
Perfect. So hello everyone. My name is Andre. I'm the CEO and founder of Edgeful.com. It's a technical analysis tool. Pretty much shows you like the probabilities of how things tend to work out in the markets. So how often a certain weekday is red or green, what happens if we reclaim previous day's high or low, what days have the highest or lowest volume or range, etc. So just something that gives you data where you don't have to become an analyst to have to figure it out.
Yep, I love it. So I'm busy sharing your guys' website right here. So you guys know that I love using this data to make my decisions on the desk, right? For those watching, as always. You guys see me use it on stream, but two of the main ones that I like using is the previous day's range, right? So previous day's range, if you take out the previous day's high or low, that's one of my favorite ones, go-to ones, Andre. And then also the Asian range one. So I love using it, particularly the bar weekday one. And I like using like the last 3 months because I like to keep up with current trends in the market, you know. But what are your thoughts on the market at the moment, Andre? Because I know you trade yourself. So what have you been seeing in the market at the moment? Any trades that you've had in the last week or so?
Yeah, so I actually trade options mostly.
Yep.
And the volatility recently has not been great in the options market. So options prices are, not to get into the technicals of that, it's totally irrelevant for the sake of this, but when you trade options, you want to have a lot of volatility and you want to have larger moves. And when you don't get that, it's very hard to make money because the options that you're trading don't actually move really nicely. So even though you're correct directionally, like let's say you have a bullish bias and you take a bullish trade, the options actually don't move along with that. So I've actually been kind of sitting on the sidelines more often. I've been super picky with what trades I do take. And the one thing that I do like to focus on, which I've seen, James, you talk about a lot, is the volume and range by weekday report.
Yes.
So that report
I'll pull that up.
allows me to say, okay, well, if it's a Monday, I'm not going to be trading. I'm not going to be forcing trades on that Monday because it has the lowest volume and the lowest range, which means that it's hardest to make money on those days.
Yeah, volume and range by weekday. He has the...
Yeah, and you're in the Forex section right now, which happens to, like, ironically align with what the S&P does. So it's obviously not exactly the same. It's a pretty similar chart, honestly. But what you can see is that Mondays have the lowest volume and range, which means that it's the hardest to make money, and it's they're most likely to have the choppiest price action. Yeah. Whereas where I like to trade more recently is that Thursday or Friday, because it has the highest volume and range of any weekday. So that's for SPY specifically. But yeah, it's been kind of a weird market for SPY. Like we had a pretty strong sell-off a couple weeks ago, I think, and then now we've like practically rebounded. We're a few dollars away from all-time highs, which is pretty hard to believe. Not complaining because for me, I make money in either direction, which is nice. I mean, anyone can, whether you buy or sell, you can either way. But option selling is something that I've been doing too recently, which is suited towards low volatility environments which are something that like you can capitalize on when volatility is low.
Is that specifically the selling?
Totally into a yes.
Okay.
So I'm like totally like going off into like the options world.
Yes.
Right now.
No, I love it.
Just what I've done typically. When you sell options, like pretty much all you're saying, or when you sell vertical spreads, not to get into the details, but like all you're saying is, I don't think price will go below this area, or I don't think price will go above this area.
Yeah.
If it stays horizontal, if it goes in the opposite direction, if it spins around in circles, if it dances around, it doesn't matter, because as long as price stays below your area of interest, then you make money over time, as the options expire.
Cool. Gotcha.
So it's something to, it's something that I like to do personally, just because like my experience is really based on options. Like that's what I started trading. It's just like what attracted me the most.
Yeah.
More than anything else. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. And any of your favorites? So you mentioned the volume indicator. So I want to show I just want to show the guys my two favorite stats from you guys on stream here. So my ones are, as you can see, the Asian range breakout, as well as the previous day's range. So the previous day's range, you guys know I like waiting for previous day's high or low to be taken out before buying and selling. And then the Asian range breakout, which is a new indicator, is basically if on the 15-minute time frame, and this is something I do like about you guys, it explains it very, very cleanly. And as you can see, there's even an explanation video for most of them. This one's new, so you're still going to have this one come up. Yeah. But if the 15-minute candle closes above the Asian range high, what is the chance that the day will close as a bullish candle closure, right? And obviously vice versa if it's a shorting day. So the reason I think a lot of traders could benefit from using these statistics is because a lot of the times also I see traders, they will say, oh, well, I can take trades in Asian range. And I'm like, well, you can, sure, but isn't it better to wait for a break outside it? Yes, you might be getting in at a worse price, but it probably is better to wait for that break because you're putting probability statistics in your favor, right? In your direction. And I think a lot of the times also is like I see a lot of traders talk with a lot of like certainty and everything like that. And when you actually look at the stats, it's like got a 40% chance. I'm like, dude, you're actually trading something that maybe doesn't have a great statistic. You're mentioning 70%, but now it's only 40%. So that's something I like about you guys. Is there any indicators or statistics from you guys here that you use mostly in your trading besides the volume indicator?
Yeah, one of the ones that I think might be helpful if you pull it up, the outside days one in the price action report type. So you're in there.
Yep.
Price action report type, and then outside days. So right there. So what this one shows is once it loads.
Yep.
Perfect. So this shows, so the bar to the left, the one that your mouse is on, it says bullish outside day.
Yes.
What that means is price today opened above yesterday's range. So now you're looking at the New York session here exclusively.
Yes.
So you're looking from now price, this New York session opened above the previous New York session.
I'm with you. Yes.
Yeah. So in this case, this New York session, like where your mouse is, that column, that like bar.
Yep.
Checks every time today's New York session opens above yesterday's New York session. Then how often, when that happens, does price retrace back into the previous session's range?
I'm with you.
So you can see that blue area.
Yes.
The reversal back down is actually pretty high, at least into that previous session.
40%, right?
This is it's actually like pretty small on my screen, but reversal back down. Yes, sorry. So yes, so the 40% reversal back down. So it actually, sorry, I was like misreading it because it's so small on my screen.
Yeah.
You should expect that continuation for every time that we open above that previous day's high.
Yes, I'm with you. And then you can also look at it by day, correct? But maybe session would be better for currency traders because we have a 24/5 market, correct?
Correct. That's exactly right. And then so in that case, the daily one wouldn't be like really as helpful just because it wouldn't be like an open above a certain or above or below a certain range. But yes, so this shows you for every time that we open outside of a certain range, what is the likelihood that we reverse back into that range? So if we open, so in this case, you can see for EJ in the London session, let's say we open above the previous London's high, you can see that 56% of the time in the last year, we're going to come back down and touch that previous London sessions high.
Yep.
There's some. Use this one to say.
Yeah. No, I was going to say there's so many great statistics from this. Like, I think you got to find, you got to find the ones that work. That work with the way that you trade. For example, mine's the previous day's range and then and the Asian range breakout. So my entries, I'll wait for the Asian range to be broken, but also like maybe I'll add in size once you break previous day's range. I might take trades before we break previous day's high or low, but I can add in or be more confident in the trade if we already have that. So I think this is the great thing about Edgeful. I haven't seen any other platform like this, which is great. So we got also some of the guys asking questions here about the indicators. So you have just put in these indicators. So explain to the viewers what this is here, Andre.
Yeah. So ideally, right now we just started releasing the TradingView indicators.
Yep.
So what they'll be is ideally we'll have one TradingView indicator for each report that we have. So right now we don't have anything that shows you like live on your charts what's happening, or like whether like what the previous day's range is, for example. Like you'd have to go in and manually chart that on your charts, but what we want to do is build an indicator that will automatically do it for you, and then now you never have to worry about having the wrong levels or anything like that, because it will automatically plot. So all these indicators that we have will show you like the previous week's range, previous day's range. Like we also have a market session like indicator, which just shows the New York, London, and Asian sessions. We have what else do we have? We have the like other ones that show like green and red streaks, which will put an arrow on like each day that's green.
Yep.
What we're doing here is we're allowing you to see all of the data right on your charts.
Sure.
And I think that you just clicked on the
fair value gaps. Yep.
We don't even have a report. Yep. So we don't even have reports for that yet, but we've put out these indicators.
Nice.
So people that when you sign up, you get all of these included. So
nice.
In this case, like you could see the fair value gaps. If that's something that you use, then you can use that and apply that to your trading, like right there on your charts, and you get that with the suite of all the other indicators that we offer.
I like it. I love the data side of things and everything like that. As I said, I think that for like me to be like actually seeing the data, I'm like, yeah, I should be waiting for previous day's range to be taken up before taking trades. And again, it also backs up the way that I trade with guys like James. Well, why do you do this? I'm like, well, because the data's telling me so, right? And I think something that's coming cool. I don't want to mention too much on stream because you're going to be on stream again in the beginning of next month, and it might be out by then, maybe. But I think is the customizational thing, putting the EMAs on, and maybe you like can basically build your own trading system using the data that you guys provide, right?
Exactly. So that's exactly right. I'll kind of touch on it actually. I mean, I appreciate you kind of being mindful about not explaining it, but yeah, we are going to be introducing new plans, and then anyone who signs up now is going to be grandfathered into the top plan. So at the price that you're paying. So the current pricing that we have is $35 a month. You can easily make that back in one trade. Yeah. And we've made it really affordable on purpose, because what we want to do is hear feedback from as many people as possible. So now that we've added a ton of stuff, a ton of new reports, we've added the TradingView indicators, we've added all the videos, we've added all the explainer graphs, we've added like Forex and futures, we've added so much that now we're going to start to break it out into different plans. And the highest plan will get a full customization of Edgeful. So you'll actually be able to pretty much change the inputs that go into these reports, which is going to be like super powerful. So you can customize it exactly to your trading strategy. Whereas in this case, like you might not have the customization that you want, and you'll be able to literally change everything, and including from session times as well. So if like our Forex New York session is from 8 to 5. But if you like to trade the 9:30 to 5, you'll actually be able to go in and say, I only want to look at 9:30 to 5.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of customization coming very soon.
Nice. I like it. I think, I love using Edgeful and using the data. And I think you can basically be building your own trading strategies based off your statistics that you guys offer. So for the guys that don't want to guess and don't want to have ifs and buts about their trading, this Edgeful is the platform to use because the data is there in front of your eyes, right?
Yeah. The only thing that I'll add to that is to say that if you want to be successful in this business long term, you cannot be going based off of your gut. This is not something that you can just go in and like kind of cross your fingers and hope that you can do well. You will absolutely have some winning trades along the way, but if you don't have a system and you don't know the probabilities that are actually on your side versus the ones that are not, there's no way that you can survive in this game long term. There are a ton of resources that all these traders can use, whether it's a trading journal, which I always recommend. Like, we don't have a trading journal, so find another one. I don't want to like say any of them on stream, but find a trading journal, use the resources around you, because the learning curve in this business is pretty steep, but you can accelerate all of that learning curve by using and leveraging the tools around you, like something like Edgeful, something like a trading journal, and refining and kind of like expediting the process of becoming profitable. Because honestly, you're just not going to get this information anywhere else. Like, this information just does not exist on the markets. Like, if you can do it yourself, like, that's fantastic, but you're probably a super experienced analyst or like a computer programmer that also has like very, very extensive financial background. It's just very unrealistic to try and learn how to do this yourself when you're also trying to become a profitable trader. So like, what we do is like, we break it down for you, like right there, and we just hand it over and we say, okay, here, like, this is the edge, like, this is what you have. Like, if we break previous day's high, almost 80% of the time we're going to close green. So take a trade aligned with that, and there's only so much that we can do on the emotional side, or like you sitting on your hands, but we literally give you all the tools that you need to become profitable, and it's at an extremely affordable price. So that's just and we have a 7-day free trial. So
exactly. And so guys, I'll put the link in the chat right now. Sign up for the free trial, give it a go, see if you like it, see if you don't. But I personally love it. It's helped my trading and continues to help my trading. So if you're taking your trading seriously, Edgeful is definitely going to aid that, right? But Andre, I think that's been good today. We want to, because I already showed the guys live on stream, stuff, and speak about this. I think I've got many guys that have come through and have enjoyed the product. So if you got any more questions, let me know. We can cover it maybe on the Wednesday stream on ASFX TV. So this week, make sure to catch me live on ASFX TV. Andre will be again on the 3rd of June. On ASFX TV as well, to go over any more questions that you guys have, and I'm sure maybe some more updates. But yeah, Andre, always appreciate your time. We want to keep the guys always guessing what you guys have next. Appreciate your time as always, bro.
All right, perfect.
Cheers, Andre. Have a good one.
Thank you, guys.
Cheers.
Have a good one.
Okay, cool, guys. So that was Andre from Edgeful. So let's chat more about buying at a good price, because that was in my weekly report card, right? So let's chat about buying at a good price. So as I said, put on these pivot point standards. So if you go to these pivot points, indicators, and you hit the pivot point standard and get up the R1, R2, S1, S2, and then the daily pivot. I want to be buying, right? I want to be buying as close to this daily pivot as possible. Something that's very, very interesting is Edgeful actually has this, let's go indicators, has this pivot points, right? So if you go to pivot points, right, between P1 and S1. So between P1 and S1, 36% of the time. Interesting. So let's go by weekday. Between P1 and S1, and then you can also look between P1, between pivot point and R1. There we go. So between pivot point and R1, you can, so on Mondays when price opened between R1 and P, this is interesting. I'm gonna go have a look at this more, but basically I love buying as close to the daily pivot as possible. And I think this was something that Tim made me aware of. We don't want to be buying up here. Obviously this day is a running day that runs, but on Friday I don't want to be buying up here. I need to be buying lower, closer to the daily pivot, something like this, right over here, not buying all the way up here. There's a difference in price. So add these pivots on. I think it's been a great help in terms of how he analyzed it for me. And I think that it made a lot of sense what he was saying. But yes, so we got a question here, dividends. chat for a moment about the new challenges that you mentioned next week. So I'm diversifying with a lot of firms at the moment, right? I'm going to be, I've got accounts with Hydra, I've got accounts with FTMO, I've got funded accounts with FTMO, I've got funded accounts with a few companies, but my main ones that I'm looking to scale up now. But my funded FX did have this plan, this one-step max plan, and you can go check it out on their website. But basically, it's got a profit target of 8%, and it's got a max static drawdown of 8%, and it's a one-step. So you need to make 8%, and then you get funded. And then the only downside to it is it's got a 2% max profit and a 2% max loss per day. But it's a soft breach. You don't get breached on that, which is great. I personally think this is the best challenge in the industry right now, this one-step max program with my funded FX. But I've got accounts with Hydra. You've seen them on stream, very open and honest guys. They're a great product as well, and a few others like FTMO as well. So you're going to pay. FTMO is more expensive, but you're going to pay for them. But this step from my funded FX, I think, is the best one in the industry at the moment. Simply because if you take a two-step, you've got to make 8% and then 5%. That's 13%, right? But this one, now you got a one step and you need to make 8%. Would you rather make 8% or 13%? Fuck, I'd rather make 8%, right? And it's a static drawdown. Normally one step phases have trailing drawdown. This one is static. So I personally believe this is the best challenge in the industry right now. I've been loading up with this challenge. So I would, if you want to be smart, take this while it is here, because I don't know, I think this could be the next for the future. Hopefully more firms, this can provide a more sustainability for the prop firm industry and everything like that. But I did get some guy asking about futures for South Africans. So we've got a lot of South Africans on today. This is great. Thanks for the support, guys. I appreciate it. But futures, I personally think just trade CFDs, guys. Why would you Top Step and Apex? You can't trade futures as South Africans. Trade CFDs. There's more firms. Yes, some of them, the shit ones are crap. So go with proper ones. But trade CFD ones, right? The reason being is because you're trading the S&P 500. You're going to trade ES or you're going to trade US 500. Trade it as a CFD firm. We can't trade futures with Top Step, right? So stick to the CFDs. I would personally go with, as I said, my funded FX, Hydra, FTMO. I got with a bunch of them at the moment. 5%ers I got, as I mentioned, with a bunch of firms. But this one here is the best challenge at the moment. I would be loading up with this. I see Funding Pips also just released the one step. Yes, De Villiers, I see that as well. So this one here from my funded FX, I believe, is the best one in the industry at the minute. What's the name of the pivot points indicator you're using? It's called Pivot Point Standard, Neil. So if I go here on indicators, pivot points. So pivot points, like that. Pivot Point Standard. It's actually made by TradingView itself. So you want to be buying or selling as close to that daily pivot as possible. So yeah, that's my personal take on it. As Liam said, my funded futures, I don't know if South Africans can trade with them, but we South Africans, we trade CFDs, not the futures is for the Yanks. It's not for us. But yeah, that one-step challenge, one-step phase is the best one in the industry at the moment. I would personally be loading up with that. My honest take. And CFDs have better rules. And I'm sure many would agree with that. We don't have that stupid trailing drawdown. This is the best one, right? Because normally CFD firms offer one-step challenges, but they're trailing drawdown. This is a static drawdown, right? One phase. So go with this. And but yeah, that was my week. So a solid week, 1.5%, 7% gain. I'm getting married this Saturday, as mentioned, so I'm looking forward to some time off. But I appreciate you guys always being on. We won't have a weekly review next week, Monday. I might be still celebrating my honeymoon with my wife. But I appreciate you guys being on, and I always look forward to these. So thanks for your time as always. I'll see you then again on AceFX TV on Wednesday. That will be the last stream this week before I do head off to the wedding and everything like that. But you can watch me on AceFX TV. I've just put the link in the chat there. Make sure to go go check me out there. So do you trade in reversals or mainly trade in trends? Miguel, I trade in trend. So I only trade in trend. Or as you can see, all my trades here from this past week are all above the 200 EMA in trend, all in trend. I don't trade reversals. I trade for 1-to-1 risk reward ratio, and I'm targeting 60% win rate. So 1-to-1% risk reward ratio, and my target win rate is 60%. So I always trade in trend. I find that 1-to-1 snag and bag is my way of trading. I preferred that for a long time now. But yeah, appreciate you guys, and yeah, solid week, yeah. But just grateful for life, and I appreciate you guys being on stream. So please, if you like this, tag me on socials at JamesBruce131, and I will make sure to go and repost you. But yeah, we'll see you then on Wednesday on ASFX TV.